What if I told you this elegant vintage keepsake box didn't come from an expensive boutique, but from the Dollar Tree? Today, I'm going to show you how a plain cardboard box can become a gorgeous shabby chic heirloom with just a little rice paper, a few special details, and some simple techniques anyone can master. Hello, my crafty friends. I'm Donna from Mason Creations, etc. And welcome to my channel. If you're ready, my friends, let's make a mess. I got this plain cardboard gift box at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to turn it into something special today. But the first thing I'm going to do is paint it white. I'm using Dixie Belle chalk mineral paint in the color cotton. I painted the entire box inside and outside. I also painted the entire lid as well. My crafty friend Denise from Alabama asked me to decorate a cardboard gift box. Here you go, Denise. This video is for you. I'm going to use 3 different rice papers today. This one with the wood planks and pink roses will be going on the sides of the bottom portion of the box. I'm measuring how big to cut the paper. I'll make it just a little larger than the box. I always mark my paper on the back side, just in case I make a slip. That way it's not going to be visible. I'm using Polyvine Heavy Duty Varnish as my decoupage glue today. I'm starting at one of the corners of the box and wrapping the paper around, gluing as I go. Make sure you always paint your background white wherever you're going to decoupage. This will keep the colors in your image vibrant. Dark colors will show right through the paper and make your images appear dark and muddy. I'm putting some of my varnish on the side of the box, pressing the paper down and then brushing another layer of varnish over the paper. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to fix a warped cardboard box. I cut the next piece right where one of the lines of the boards were, so you can't even tell it's been pieced. If you'd like to learn more about any of the products I'm using today, be sure to visit my website. You'll find a complete materials list for this project in the Weekly Project Supplies tab, with links to all the products I used. I'm using some antique script rice paper for the edges around the lid of the box. I'm cutting those a little larger than needed as well. I'm adding my varnish to the edge of the lid and then positioning the strip of paper. Then adding more varnish, just like I did on the bottom of the box. Once this is dry, I'm going to add a beautiful picture on the top. I'm going around all 4 edges, making sure to line up the lettering with each new piece that I added. I'm going to put these on top of a couple bottles to dry. Hanging them over bottles to dry will keep the excess paper hanging over the edges from getting damaged. Where are you all watching from, my crafty friends? Let me know in the comments. I just love to see what cities and countries all my friends are watching from. I'm filming from sunny Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. And I'll let this dry for a couple hours. All the paper is dry now. I have excess paper hanging over all the edges that I need to get rid of. I always make the rice paper or napkin a little bit longer than what I'm going to need, so that I can get a nice clean edge. I'm going to do this with a medium grit sandpaper. I'm running the sandpaper over the edge of my piece in a downward motion. Make sure you don't go upward, you'll risk lifting your rice paper or napkin. The sandpaper cuts off the paper, leaving a very clean edge. Because this little box is cardboard, it got somewhat warped from all the paint and varnish. Here's the fix. I'm spraying it inside and out with some water. I put the lid on it and let it dry overnight. This worked like a charm. I just fell in love with this picture. All the pink roses and those cute little birds. I positioned the image the way I wanted it on top of the lid, and then removed the excess from the top of the image. I marked the bottom and folded it to do a test fit. Once I had it perfect, I made the cut. I normally tear my race paper, but in this instance, I need a sharp cut edge. I added my varnish and pressed the image to the top of the lid and added one more layer of varnish. To find my website, just click on my profile picture below the title of this video, which takes you to my YouTube homepage. Then to the right of my picture, you'll see a blue link to my website. I wanted to make sure the top was laying down smoothly. I misted a piece of a cut-up Ziploc bag to lay over the glued image, pressing out any would-be wrinkles or bubbles with a dry paper towel right through the plastic, then lifted the plastic very carefully. The placement of the pictures and verbiage on this picture seemed to fit the size of the box better than the other three. I'm giving all the decoupage paper another coat of varnish. I'm making sure to seal all the edges that were sanded. And then I'll let that dry for about an hour. I'm going to add Dixie Belle pearlescent glaze to the inside of the box and lid. This is going to give it a pearly shimmer. Filming doesn't do it justice. It's so beautiful. It'll give the inside of the box a satin appearance. I just want to take a moment, all of my crafty friends, to say thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying the content, it would be great if you could take a quick second and hit the like and hype buttons. I appreciate you for doing that. I have some awesome new projects coming up, so don't forget to subscribe. I let the pearlescent glaze dry for about 30 minutes, and then I gave the inside of the box and lid a coat of varnish. And then I'll let that dry for about an hour. I'm going to add some gold trim around all the edges and corners. I'm using Pentart Delicate Gold Paint and a small sponge stippler. I'm dipping the flat side of the sponge in the paint. I'm not getting a lot on it, just enough to cover the flat side. Then I'll just run the flat side of the sponge along the edge of the box. I'm not pressing down at all, just running it along the edge. If you press it down, then you'll get paint on the flat sides of the box. Adding gold edges is such a pretty touch. When visiting my website, you'll find a special code to save 10% on one order with a minimum of $50. This is from my wonderful sponsor, decoupagenapkins.com. Just for watching this video. Once on my website, click on the Discounts and Special Offers tab. I let the paint dry for about 30 minutes and then added a final coat of varnish to protect everything I just did. And then I'll let that dry for about an hour. I'm going to add some aging inside the box and lid. I'm using Finnabair Metallic Wax Rub in the color Bronze Age. I put a small amount on a paper towel and I'm rubbing a small amount on my brush. I'm rubbing it in all the corners. If I got a little too much, I was able to wipe it off because of the varnish. Wax rubs won't need sealing, so this will always be the last thing you add to your projects. This product is solvent-based, so you'll need to clean your brush with mineral spirits. Everything else I've used today will clean up with soap and water, including the varnish. Now it's time to add some beautiful finishing touches. I'm going to add a pink tassel and pale pink rose to the top of the lid. These colors match so beautifully with the rice papers. First, I'll glue the tassel because I want it under the rose. The string on the tassel wasn't quite long enough, so I had to put it a little off center, but I'll make sure the rose is completely centered. Wouldn't you love to receive a gift in this beautiful little gift box? I added a link to my new playlist of easy spring projects. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that playlist. I'm so happy you were here with me today, and thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm working on a new project with you in mind. You can subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner.